It shapes your personality.
I've been playing since about the 3rd grade.
Knowing that as a team you play together,
Work with people.
Together as a
I play
team.
basketball and baseball. It's a great game.
It's a physical sport.
The speed of the game.
We really worked hard.
finally pays off.
I'm staying in shape.
Training for this.
Teammates.
It builds your self-esteem, mental game.
It's pretty much our goal to win state this year.
With a positive attitude, we could really make it to playoffs.
Welcome to this week's episode of Prep Zone. We'll be coming to you from Molalla High School, where they've come back from some pretty big setbacks. We'll visit Mariel Segunas, a world champion in women's fencing. Then we'll interview 5 sets of sisters on the Molalla women's soccer team. Also, this week's video diary comes to us from the Inner City Players. And finally, we're going to show you the big game between McNary and South Salem. You're in the Prep Zone.
Welcome to Prep Zone. This is Heather.
And this is Sean, and today we're at Molalla High School, a school that's overcome some serious challenges throughout the years.
And we're talking about some serious adversity, fire, earthquake, and even rotting grandstand benches.
And Sean, until this year, they were known to have the longest losing streak when it comes to football.
But as we'll show you, this is a school that has learned to overcome.
Mollalla's a great town, but we've definitely been in the bad luck line more than once. What really hurt Molalla and other similar towns was the downturn in the timber industry. We went from a student body of more than 1,000 down to in the 600s when I came here in '96. And after that, we pretty much had every wrath of God that you can imagine. '88, we had an arson fire that destroyed our old gymnasium, and it was a great old gym. It was built in the '30s. And in '93, we had an earthquake, which we must be the only school I know of that lost their school because of an earthquake. So for the next 3.5 years, they were in portable classrooms, which was really a horrible place for school. This spring, we found out our football stadium had dry rot. The smart thing was to tear it down, so now our football team and track team is without a stadium.
But despite all of these disasters, Molalla High has been able to overcome. After seeing almost 50% of their student body disappear, they've closed ranks and become even stronger and more unified. When the high school was condemned because of the earthquake, a new school was built in its place. Seeing their grandstands fall apart, they dug in and started a fundraising campaign to build an even better and bigger stadium. If there's one lesson Molalla High has learned, it's that buildings, attendance, and sports records are not the most important part of high school. It's the students, parents, and teachers who make the school what it is.
The Molalla kids are just the heart of the earth. The sons and daughters of truck drivers and loggers and mill workers. They're hardworking kids, and if they respect you, they'll just go through the wall for you.
Now, for this week's football highlights between McNary and South Salem.
It's Thursday, October 11th. We're at South Salem High School, where tonight the South Salem Saxons knocked off McNary 26-19. Mike Barrett along with Bobby DeBishop. Bobby, we expected a lot tonight, and we got a lot tonight.
We did get a lot tonight, and South Salem came up and grabbed McNary and pushed him back up to Kaiser. They said, we don't want you down here anymore. They took care of the game tonight.
And it was fantastic, too, to see McNary get a big lead, and then they came back and reclaimed the lead after they had lost it to South Salem.
Well, you and I thought McNary came out with, like, gangbusters. In South Salem, they said, wait a minute, we're going to give you 16, and we're going to come back up, tie it, take the lead, and win this baby.
McNary nailed a long field goal to tie it, and then South Salem with a nice sustained drive to get the victory.
They did have a nice sustained drive to get the victory. I'll tell you something right now. McNary is a team that's going to go long in the playoffs. They're well coached. They got great kids, but South Salem has that championship feeling. I just think that this team right here, they could win it all.
They sure could, and they remain undefeated. McNary falls to 5-1. South Salem 6-0. They're on top in the Valley League and are looking for greater things this year. For Bobby, I'm Mike. Back to you.
Don't miss the game next week, October 19th, as we bring you Gaston at Dayton, seen only on ASCN.
When we return, we'll meet the Women's High School World Fencing Champion here on the Prep Zone. Welcome back. We're here with Erica from Molalla High School, ASB Vice President. What's the record for the team right now?
For season, we're 2-0. We're undefeated.
Good job. Is that like thanks to the cheerleading here?
Defense! Stop! That's right!
So you guys had to overcome a pretty big losing streak in the last couple of years. What was it like to cheer for a team that you know wasn't quite winning as much as they should?
Well, you learned real quick what to say. You didn't tell them good job after the game because they really didn't want to hear it. It was funny because this year we are used to all these cheers. We have all these cheers just programmed for the specific reason of saying, okay, you're losing, but we still love you and you're still going to keep going, fighting strong. And we started winning this game against Banks. We were stomping them, and we're like, well, what do we do? I can't find anything to cheer because all our cheers didn't work at all.
Like your old cheers were like, we know we're losing, guys, but keep pressing on. And now you're finally winning. You don't have the right material.
We've got a lot of fresh material this year. A lot of, the Indians are hot. We're jamming. We're, a lot of different stuff that is completely foreign.
Right on. That's pretty cool. So can you do one of your cheers for us real quick? Anything?
Yeah, I could do
I want to see something.
Indians, score what you say. Come on, crowd. 6 more.
Nice.
High school students are just trying to lead a normal life these days. The main goal is to get through high school and maintain a pretty good social life.
But some set their sights a lot higher than that. Take Muriel Zagunas, for instance, from Beaverton, who just won the World Championships in Women's Cadet Saber.
Saber meaning fencing.
Yeah, fencing. She competed with kids from around the globe in Budapest, Hungary, and has her sights set now on the 2004 Olympics.
Not bad.
I'm Muriel Zagunas. I'm 16 years old and I go to Valley Catholic High School. About 6 years ago, my older brother, started coming to fencing, and because he really wanted to do it. And so I was always like here in this gym watching him practice and stuff, so I just picked it up right after him. It's usually like on your own warm-up, and then it just depends what day it is, and either we'll do drills where we just practice like on the dummies or on each other, and then we'll just like free fence, and our coach will give individual lessons and stuff. That's really intense because like when you're fencing hard and you're competitive with your teammates. It's hard work. In all fencing, you have to have really good reaction time, really quickness and speed, like because you have to hit them quickly, and just flexibility and strength.
Step back and then.
Well, there's actually 3 different weapons. There's foil, saber, and epee, and they're all very different. They're like completely different sports almost. In saber, it's very quick. It's like a lot quicker than foil and epee, and you hit like with more of a slashing movement. I was in the World Championships, Junior World Championships in Gdansk, Poland, and I competed in Cadet Saber, Junior Saber, and Junior Saber team, and I got a gold medal in all 3 of those, so I'm really happy about that. From about November to July is like no, October actually, to July is like the traveling season for fencing. It starts out with national tournaments, and then like in December starts international World Cups, and we don't really have any time ever to see where we're going. But like the World Championships were in the summer last year, we got to see a lot of Budapest, and that's a really nice place. So, but usually we don't because you have to get back here. I get homework and stuff from my teachers, but I don't necessarily have time to do it because I want to be concentrating on fencing. I don't want to be like, you know, working on my homework all the time. And so I get it, but I always have to make it up when I get back. And then by the time I get it made up, I'm leaving again. My next goal is to do really well at the Senior World Championships in October. And so I'm going to be training hard for that. And then after that, I guess more Junior Worlds, more Senior Worlds, and then come the Olympics. So that's my next goal, is just to hopefully keep moving up and don't stop.
I'm sitting here with 3 Molalla High School students. This is Carson, this is Jessica, and this is Megan. Okay, let's talk about, you know, Mollalla's been through so many challenges. Let's talk about the effects that you think it's maybe having on the students. I mean, any of you guys personally feel like you're affected?
I don't know. We've come so far as, you know, a whole entire school. We are known for kids dropping out and like minorities dropping out and everything, but we last year came up 40 or 50% and less dropouts, so that was a big improvement. Everybody deals with the situation they're in. I mean, Molalla had the worst reputation. I mean, when you go anywhere and you say, yeah, Molalla, everyone's like, oh, that's a great school, we should be really proud to go there, you know, real sarcastic.
And how does that make you feel?
Just learned to cope with it over the years. Having been in Molalla so long, people just don't really accept your school, and so I think it holds the whole school together tighter, and you get more spirit and everybody gets along better.
Now you're having a good football team, and so the school spirit's even greater.
This year has been way different. We've been bragging a lot and stuff. Now, like, schools don't like us when we used to not like them all because they were beating us.
And so far you're undefeated, is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep, in league. We're undefeated, which is, it's neat. It definitely builds up school pride, so that's a good thing.
When we return, we'll meet the 5 sets of sisters on the Molalla girls soccer team, here on the Prep Zone. Welcome back to Prep Zone. You know, in Molalla, girls soccer is a family affair.
You have 2 sets of sisters, 2 sets of twins, and a set of triplets.
Check it out.
My name is Leo Odell. I'm the girls varsity soccer coach here at Molalla High School. We have a real unique situation here. I guess you could call it the family act or the sister act. We're fortunate to have quite a few sisters on the team. One set being triplets, being Brandy, Brittany, and Bridget Rowley. Another set being twins, Marissa and Jillian Becker. And then we have sisters Molly and Stacy Imholt, and Carrie and Katie Taflelig. And then in our JV program, we have another set of twins, Polly and Zena Molladai. So it's a pretty unique situation, to say the least.
One would think that close sisters would provide a great advantage in team competitions. What about ESP or family intuition? Is there anything to that?
I think there is. Just because, you know, you've lived with them your whole life, and there's that kind of, I know what you're going to do next.
All sisters, you know where each other are on the field and
have better communication, I don't know.
Yeah.
You can sometimes, we can look at each other and we can kind of tell what we're thinking, but I don't know if that's being a twin or anything.
We've had people tell us before that they think we're psychic, but it's just kind of weird that way.
And you know, like, kind of, you know what they can do, so you know, like, what they're going to do.
It's to our benefit because that just gives more players on the team, you know, that thought, knowing that, oh, she's going to be there, you know, I've played with her forever, she's going to be right there, I know her next move, you know what I mean?
Hey, good. Good job, Pam.
Sisters in close age to each other, especially sets of twins or triplets, have a very close bond of friendship.
We're basically like best friends, actually, so when she does something good, it's like, that's my sister, thanks, that's she's related to me, she learned it from me.
We know how to trigger each other in a sense of ways to get on them, to make them work better, or try harder and, you know, a way that she'll understand.
If you had a bad day or something, you can always talk about them. Was I really that bad? Instead, you can always trust them to be truthful with you.
It helps me a lot. She's there to support me and tell me things that I'm not, if I'm doing right and wrong, and tell me to keep it up. So it really encourages me.
But sets of sisters on the same team also provides the opportunity for competition and rivalry.
It makes you a lot more competitive, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes you want to be more aggressive, especially like if you're going against your sister or whatever, you always want to beat them.
You're competing with each other, but otherwise you're pretty supportive.
We're all different, but there's that basic older sister, younger sister relationship that everybody has, so.
Yeah. Even if you're a couple seconds apart,
Yeah.
still that older sister, younger sister.
Yeah, you do what I say.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it doesn't expect how you play, it's just you play harder because you don't want the other person to beat you out of your position.
As for their coach, he sees nothing but good having all these sisters on the same team.
You look at it as a blessing, I guess, because it creates a lot of natural competition amongst them. They're able to really, I guess, inspire each other without even having to say anything. They push each other. The presence, each other's presence on the field is really noticeable.
Everybody arms length apart, all the way down to the end.
Scoot.
Out here in the rural community of Molalla, football is big. But for the inner city players, a summer team made up of North Portland High School students, basketball is what's happening. Last summer they went to LA and Las Vegas. And here's their video diary.
You ain't gonna do nothing. Saying that sound like that. Trying to get some basic, Got him. Yo, we at Vegas Airport. It's hot as hell. Okay. We're one of the top 50 teams out of the 344 teams that's here. We want you guys to be the best players, but more importantly, the best people that you can possibly be. You guys are entertainers. Are you guys going to be one-hit wonders, or are you going to make a career out of this? That's the difference. These kids out here live and die by basketball.
When we return, we'll meet the quarterback of the Molalla Indians, and he'll talk with us about the comeback his team has made, here on the Prep Zone.
I'm here with Chad, who's the quarterback of Molalla. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with that, so I'm going to say Mo High School. Is that okay?
That's fine.
And I'm kind of having a hard time with this because, how tall are you?
Like 6'1".
All right, so give me a second, okay? Okay, much better, much better. I'm liking that. I'm going to start off hitting you hard and talk about the major losing streak. I mean, you guys are, I don't know if you're in the history books, but you're pretty close. And you're a senior, so for the past 3 years, I mean, it hasn't been good.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're upset about it, but we're glad this year that we can turn it around for the next upcoming years by starting a winning streak, because we're 3 wins in a row so far. The community and the schools get more behind us, and they have more school spirit and stuff now. So that's good because we're starting to win.
So you think the big thing that you guys overcame is, well, pretty much you guys have grown together throughout the years, and you're mostly seniors.
Yeah, so we've been starting, I mean, like a couple of us have started since sophomore year, like I have, and then others started junior year, so we've been together, and we know each other, and we know how each other plays.
Good. Best of luck to you, and if you guys make it in the playoffs, I'm sure Action Sports Cable Network will be there to film it.
All right, thank you.
We all know how important practice and training are for an athlete. Another key ingredient to their performance is nutrition. And here's our man Jason Schlager to tell us more about it.
Today I'll be talking about nutrition. Nutrition in conjunction with cardiovascular exercise, strength, flexibility, sleep, and proper rest. Some of the main points about nutrition is first and foremost, eat well, okay? The second thing would be eat a varied diet. That means don't just eat one particular type of food. Be a little bit creative. Number two would be to avoid excess fast food. Dealing with high school athletes, there's lots of times to where they'll run by McDonald's or they'll run by a certain fast food establishment, and they'll think that that's going to give them what they need in order to participate that particular day, whether it's in practice or a game. Probably the most important one out of the ones that we'll discuss is eat breakfast. Start your day off with a good balanced breakfast. Again, think of food as fuel. In order for you to perform throughout the day, whether it's in the classroom or on the actual playing surface, you need to have that energy. Number four would be to consume complex carbohydrates. Some examples of those are potatoes, vegetables, pasta. This is where you're going to get your real, true main energy source. And last but not least, don't forget fluids. Understand that drinking water, drinking sports drinks that are going to hydrate your body and give you some of those electrolytes that you may lose in a practice are definitely important as well. Out of all of the variables that I discussed in the beginning, nutrition is number one. In order to be strong, in order to be injury-free, in order to do the things that you want your body to do, you need to be able to provide that energy. And that energy and that fuel comes from good food.
That does it for Prep Zone this week. Our thanks to Molalla High School for having us out here.
And good luck to them and their football team this year, and we'll see you next week on the Prep Zone. Heather, go along.